sitting on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
This is Barack Obama, our previous president before Donald Trump. A lot of black people's hero. I pretty much say black people's messiah. Yeah, people think Barack Obama should be on the grace to be put on the level of Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. My question is, what did he do for black people that he should be held to that standard? Don't get me wrong. Historic, first black president. I worked on the Obama campaign in 2008, was proud to do it. Had great policies, a great future. And I was excited about his first 2 years. After the second year, when he refused to campaign for the down ballot tickets, I'm like, what's up with this guy? You're trying to give the majority to the Senate and to the House of Representatives. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened after 2 years of him being in office. We had a supermajority. At that time, I was a Democrat. We had a supermajority that he could have got anything done in office. He could have really went hard for black people. He could have really pushed black legislation. But look here, buddy. I have to remind America that I'm the president of all people. I'm not just the president of black people. And you can clearly look at my wife, Michelle. You can clearly look at Sasha, Malia, and you can see that they're black. But I'm not the president of black people. I'm the president of all people. Yeah, bro, but you ran on the first black president. Even though you have white, even though you have black. You ran on first black president. So when black people go put you over in a landslide, the first thing you should do is reward them for putting you over. When are we going to stop doing that? When we're going to stop allowing these politicians just use and abuse us, and when we're going to start saying, "No, bro, I'm tired of that. We put you over and you don't even reward us." Well, you reelect me in 2012, and then we'll revisit this. 2012 come nothing, nada. Well, when I get out of office, I have no excuse, I have no reason, and I'm going to build an organization designed to lift up the black community. Obama Foundation ain't doing much for the black community in a whole in America. And I know you guys love President Obama. He's good. He's a great orator, funny, good-looking guy, look good in the suit. But he's one of the most condescending when it comes to blacks. Pookie, pull your pants up. Look at Pookie, pull your pants up. And always down talking us. I consider it an insult if you don't choose Hillary Clinton. Bruh, is this about you or is this about the American people? So I got my good things I like to say about Obama, but I got a whole lot of bad things about it. You know me. Y'all know me already. I'm not a party loyalist because I'm not in the party. I'm not a loyalist anything. And when I was married, I was loyal to my wife, and that's about it. But she got on my nerves so bad that the temptation to not be loyal was there too. But I remained loyal, and I still got a divorce. I still end up not having her in my life. Party loyalty don't get you anything. What have the Democratic Party done to reward you for your loyalty of black people? Now, this ain't got nothing to do with black empowerment. I just want to call this because recently, after the murder of Blake, matter of fact, I was going to talk about the incident in Kenosha and with Mr. Blake and Mr. Reinhauer house. I don't even want to call him Mr. Little kid who took his gun over the border and shot up some people when he wasn't supposed to be there anyway, and the cops allowed him to do it. But we're not going to go into detail. Everybody reported on this. But I want you to hear what Blake had to say. Give me a moment while he was in the hospital. Give me a second.
Yeah. I just want to say, man, to all the young cats out there, and even the older ones, older than me, it's a lot more life to live out here, man. Your life, and not only just your life, your legs, something that you need to move around and move forward in life, can be taken from you like this, man. And I promise you, the type of that you'll go through, staples, I got staples in my back, staples in my damn stomach. You do not want to have to deal with this, man. 24 hours, every 24 hours, it's pain, it's nothing but pain. It hurts to breathe, it hurts to sleep, it hurts to move from side to side, it hurts to eat. Please, I'm telling you, change your lives out there. We can stick together, make some money, make everything easier for our people out here, man, because there's so much time that has been wasted.
Now, the thing I got to say about that, Jacob Blake, is we've been trying to do this, brother. We've been trying to get our hustle on. We've been trying to make money. We know life is nothing to be taken for granted. We preached go hard or go home, ride or die. We preach get the most out of life. Problem here is in the United States is there's always something pushing you back, and the very thing that's pushing you back is white supremacy, and the very thing that's pushing you back is the black bootlicks that side with white supremacy. Matter of fact, if you mention one of the policies that I want you to push is to do whatever you can to end systemic racism, and don't even use this systemic racism. Use the policy. You got to do something, whatever you can, to root out white supremacy. Because white supremacy is a whole nother level of systemic racism. White supremacy develops systemic racism. It's not the same. And when it comes to politicians like the Obamas, the Trumps, the Clintons, you mention that, they don't want to have nothing to do with that. And they want to just stick with the systemic racism. They don't stick with the thing they don't come after the thing that causes systemic racism. So there's a lot of things we can do, Mr. Blake, and I hear you talking, but the bottom line is there's so many things that are against us that kind of stop us from doing what we should do. We got a wealth gap that's huge, and every immigrant that has come into this country recently on a higher level of wealth than the native blacks who were born here. They come here with an identity, and a lot of them come here with money, and it's easier for them to achieve the American dream. Yet we were robbed. We worked for free labor and never got a reward for it, and now we're always playing catch up. As soon as we start to catch up, they'll burn something that brought us prosperity down, or they'll destroy something or make things hard for us to prosper. So I hear you, brother. But the whole point I want to talk about is Obama. See, Obama recently, because of Mr. Blake's shooting and the way he was shot and the lame excuse for him being shot, because of that, because of George Floyd, because of not just Trump, but Biden saying that Breonna Taylor kind of brought this on herself. He mentioned in the speech that she needed to be arrested.
I think we should let the judicial system work its way. I do think there's a minimum need to be charged, the officers, and as well as Breonna Taylor.
Now, I don't know Biden losing it. I don't know if he's losing it, because he does say some things off the wall sometimes, just like Trump says some things off the wall. But for him to say that kind of ticked me off. Well, here we go. We got Barack Obama, who in the middle of this, we got the black players and some white players in support of the black players decide to go on a strike. They finally said enough is enough. The money you paying us is not enough to entertain people while this crap is going on in the street. The first time in history where the NBA was going to cripple the elite that own these teams and cripple the companies that are getting all these paying big money to make money off advertisement off these games. The corporatists were shooken by their boots because they know they get big money off the advertising dollars. The owners, the arenas get big money, and the players get big money from the advertising dollars of the corporate elite. The corporate elite make billions of dollars during football season, billions of dollars during basketball, baseball, NHL, UFC, even WWF. Big money off sports or sports entertainment. So these guys decided, forget your big money. We ain't going to be helping you make money until we do something like that. Because let me tell you something. The first step to hitting white supremacy is in the pocketbook. See, as long as they got money out the wazoo and money all across the Milky Way galaxy, they have the power to buy all politicians. They have the power to develop laws. They have the power to do anything they want to do because money can buy it. But when you cripple them at their party, cripple them in their pocket and tell them enough is enough, then they get real nervous. And that's what happened. The threat of these players shutting down the NBA was going to cost billions of dollars. And just like a sly fox, see, Trump is that wolf they're going to say, I'll fire him. You know, I mean, honestly speaking, I really don't like Trump. But the stuff he say make, you know, it's like, okay, that's just dirty. I will fire their behind. Or fire me. You can't stop me from getting my money. You fire me for something frivolous. I have a right to protest. And you fire me, I'm going to fire you. The game haven't started yet. I'm going to protest and kneel. That is my right as an American citizen. You fire me, I will file charges against you and a lawsuit against you. So go ahead, Trump, encourage your business owners, your team owners to fire the players right before the game starts. So the players can hit them in the pocket and hopefully take time out to buy their own league. And when their contract is up, start their own league and develop that league instead of making these white, wealthy, a lot of them prejudiced, bigoted owners that look at them as just cattle on a field. But let me talk about Obama. Here we go. Obama has a way of getting involved with stuff, messing something good up. You think Joe Biden winning South Carolina was just because Joe Biden was that great? No, it was Obama working behind the scenes with James Clyburn and with the other political leaders that was running for office, getting them to shut down their campaign and endorse Joe, making him look like he was a strong candidate. That was Obama looking out for his friend, so to speak. Now here we got the NBA about to get crippled by their players. And guess who comes in to mess that up? Guess who comes in to stop the protest? Well, let me read it. This is from the New York Post. Barack Obama convinced LeBron James to save the NBA season. So it's more important to save the NBA season than save the life of black men and black women on the streets with this police brutality, with this police overreach. The NBA playoffs returned. Why is the NBA returning with nothing being done? No hard laws change. There we go. I got a question I want to ask. We had the NBA doing a very important, very powerful protest. It was bigger than the knee. They all decided to shut down games. They all decided to say your corporate dollars is not enough to buy me off. My people are being killed in the street. I do not feel good trying to entertain people while they're struggling, while they're in the streets. We're protesting. Billionaires, corporateers, corporations, team owners, investors, all begin to be nervous. Why? Because these Negroes and their white friends are trying to stop my dollar. We can't have that. We got to find some way to stop that. In my eyesight, here's the best way to stop it. Well, let's call the first black president who plays basketball and very good at it, who oftentimes hosts basketball players to the White House when he was in office. who has a great relationship with LeBron James and the other host of players. Let's get him to stop this. Lo and behold, it happened. Let me read it. Again, the NBA playoff returns Saturday following a 3-day hiatus, though that may not have been the case if not for former President Barack Obama. You hear that? That may not have been the case if it was not for President Barack Obama. So President Obama was the single-handed person in getting this protest shut down and the playoffs back started. LeBron James, along with President Obama, led a small group of players who solicited advice from the country's 44th president. So you're going to seek the advice of a president who never really protested a day in his life. He probably did a little something as community organizer, but I don't see no record of protesting with him. A man who cracked the head of people in Wall Street, will occupy Wall Street, people who who was demanding that the 1% pay their fair share because they felt it was robbing the 99%. He tried to be all smooth with that, and he cracked the head of them and shut that down. And then not to mention the Native Americans who were trying to protect their land and dapple and keeping them from messing up their tribal territory. He let that play out for a little bit and shut that down. So wherever there's a protest, he found a way to shut that down. Don't even mention Ferguson, where he called them all thugs, where he called Black Lives Matter thugs. See, the thing is, man, you guys you got this positive image of Obama because you listen to the TV and you listen to political leaders. And they show you what they want, but when you check their record, you find out they ain't all that pretty. Now, nobody's perfect, and this ain't about a perfect candidate. No, this is about these are about individuals who on purpose harm people. And yeah, Obama harmed people. Obama stopped movements. Obama paused progress for working people, pause progress for black people. Yes, Obama. Here we clearly have major players in the NBA saying enough is enough. What kind of person would I be to try to entertain you people, knowing my people out there in the streets getting their necks pressed down in the middle of a pavement and they can't breathe? No. Until y'all change some laws, you can forget about basketball. And you can forget about football or any other sport until you change some laws. LeBron James led a small group, and I'm on LeBron James behind too, who solicited advice from the president. The Athletic report when it was uncertain whether players would return to the playoff. They shouldn't have never returned. The Bucks refused to play games Wednesday. The Bucks refused to play games. They're doing a civic duty. But you want to tell people you got to get out there and vote your way to change. Vote your way to change. Bruh, we voted for you a second term and you cracked the heads of the people of Dapple. You let them shoot water cannons, shooting people's arms off. You allowed that to happen. You said we're going to let it play out in Priest, and then you allowed them to go ahead and get these people off that land. You did that, Obama. You did that. You don't want to push the people out of Sequoia Park in New York where they was protesting against wealthy elite taking advantage of working people. You did that. Cracked their skull. The Bucks refused to play games Wednesday in the wake of protests against social injustice and police brutality, and all 3 games that day were postponed. Later that night, the Lakers and the Clippers, and look, Lakers, Clippers, both from LA, upper echelon bougie teams, reportedly indicated during the meeting that they were in favor of leaving the bubble in Orlando, Florida, in order to shift their attention to combating systemic racism. Bruh, it's not systemic racism. It's combined white supremacy. Systemic racism is a development of white supremacy. But Obama spoke to James. He spoke to the NBA president, Chris Paul, and a few others later that night and suggested they play. Who did that now? Obama. Obama spoke to James and a few others later that night and suggested, look here. Can't do the donors like that. We can't, got corporate America got a lot of money tied in this. Heck, I got some money tied in this. I'm not president, but I took my money and made some investments. I might buy me a team one day. May play on it. Obama spoke to James. Obama spoke to Chris Paul and told them to use this opportunity as the way to create real change. And the players told Obama they wanted to form a committee for player action and involve him in it. That is not real change. That's putting your butt back to sleep. The real change is out there on the streets. It's what's happening on the street that caused them to want to join them, which would have crippled the NBA, which would have crippled corporate elite and made them push for these elite politicians to pass laws to fix that. Bro, you got to pass some laws to deal with these racist cops and deal with this mess so we can get back to these games. I need to get back to these games. Do what you got to do. On Thursday, the player voted to return to action. Thanks to Obama, one of the most powerful statements against the establishment, one of the most powerful statements against systemic racism, one of the most powerful statements to combat white supremacy, he shut it down. A day later, the league announced it. Trump didn't shut this down. Obama shut this down. Trump would just say, fire him. Trump don't know what to do. Obama know how to whip stuff up and stop stuff. Again, a day later, the league announced it would work with players to promote voting access. So Obama shut this down, all to make this about voting. Battle social injustice and racial inequity and advocate for police reform. So look here, the best way to change is from the inside, not from the outside. So we need to vote. We need to vote like we depend on it. Bro, we done voted people like you in the office and you cracked the head of people in Dapple. You cracked the 99%, the people on Wall Street. You did. So we can vote our way in. There's still that is not going to stop systemic racism, which definitely ain't going to stop white supremacy, which gave birth to systemic racism. It's not going to stop police from cracking their heads of protesters and cracking their heads of putting their knee on the neck of blacks and stopping and frisking them for no reason and beating them around and beating them up and throwing them in a park and leaving them to walk home by themselves. They're not going to do that. Voting doesn't do that. True change, true political change, true social change happens from the outside, not inside. It doesn't happen in a political party, and it doesn't happen by voting. It happens by putting pressure on dollars, putting pressures on the wealthy elite, putting pressure on the so-called powerful people, the aristocrats, the money grabbers, and crippling them. Obama turned this from a real true change that scared the crap of everybody in corporate America. Because if it was going to be the NBA, it would have been the NFL next. It probably would have been Nordstrom. It probably would have been JCPenney. It probably would have been a lot of major companies. It would have shot a lot of stuff down. Companies was already scared. That's why everywhere you go, you saw a Black Lives Matter sign. And I was saying, do it really, though, or you just doing that because you're scared somebody going to bust in your store. And why black people sitting there falling for that? I was like, do Black Lives Matter? Or are you trying to preserve and protect yourself because you're afraid we're going to do something to your store? I would never let politics stop me from personally connecting with people and loving people. We can disagree on politics. At the end of the day, Obama don't know me. Something happened to me, he ain't coming to see me. He don't know you. Something happened to you, he ain't coming to see you. Same thing go for you Trumpettes. Y'all out here going body hard, God hard for Trump. Some of y'all are willing to do stupid stuff, shooting people and ignorant stuff like that, all in the name of Trump, drowning in the water in a boat with 15 million flags on you. All that for Trump, and something happened to you, Trump ain't coming to see you. These people don't care about you. These people literally don't care about you. All they care about is their status. All they care about is their position of power. Obama flying around, hang gliding, and jumping out of planes with billionaire Richard Branson. They buy a 50 million, I think 50 million, something like that, expensive house in Martha Vineyard. Two black politicians who did nothing for black people got the nerves to point their finger at us for saying no black agenda, no vote, reparations, and you need to vote for Joe Biden because your life depends on it, and and Trump is a racist, Joe Biden is not a racist. That's a lie. But vote.
So if I hear anybody saying their vote does not matter, that it doesn't matter who we elect, read up on your history. It matters. We've got to get people to vote. In fact, if you want to give Michelle and me a good send-off, and that was a beautiful video, but don't just watch us walk off into the sunset now, get people registered to vote. If you care about our legacy, realize everything we stand for is at stake. All the progress we've made is at stake in this election. My name may not be on the ballot, but our progress is on the ballot. Tolerance is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot. Justice is on the ballot. Good schools are on the ballot. Ending mass incarceration, that's on the ballot right now. And there is one candidate who will advance those things. There's no such thing as a vote that doesn't matter. It all matters. And after we have achieved historic turnout in 2008 and 2012, especially in the African American community, I will consider it a personal insult, an insult to my legacy, if this community lets down its guard and fails to activate itself in this election. You want to give me a good send-off? Go vote!
Man, sit your ass down.
While you're about to get kicked out of your house, he's living in a palatial mansion on Martha Vineyard, not to mention his home in Chicago. A man who gets $400,000 a year salary for the rest of his life. While your paycheck stop when you stop working. It's just not for him. It's Trump. I'm talking about all these politicians that you so in love with that you really believe they really care about you, and they don't. Only you can make these things happen. You pushed them. Anything that ever got done legislative wise is because you pushed them or you just allowed them to freely do stuff and you didn't push them on it. Here it is. We got the NBA shut down and a Barack Obama comes in and open it back up with no changes happening. That was the road to change, and you're going to stop them. You're going to get them off the road to change and tell them to go to another direction of change. Bruh, I was already heading in the direction of change. The best way to get these people to move on legislation is to cripple them in their wallets. Shut stuff down. Okay, I can't shut a street down to stop traffic, which would cripple the economy for a day or two, but I can shut this NBA down. And he went in and had them shut it down. And I'm upset with the leaders. I'm upset with the players. I'm not just upset with Barack Obama. Got to be the black man to go in, the black man who likes basketball to go in and fix these situations. Bad enough it was him that do it. That hurts me to my heart. A black man or half black man, half white man, dude, a lot of people forget that he's half white. But you got that man who's not ADOS, who's not a descendant of American slave, who father lineage came from Africa. He has no slave heritage in him. And you don't understand the plight of a man who come from slave heritage because he never experienced it. He had an inheritance. When his grandmother and grandfather died, his white grandmother and grandfather died, they left him with a home and more money. How many of your grandmother or grandfather left you a home and money? And here we are. We got to deal with white supremacy, systemic racism, police brutality. We got to deal with the wealth gap that keep getting wider. That's going to phase us out and put us at the bottom of the totem pole where we won't get nothing. We got politicians talking about a black agenda when it's really an all people's agenda. They're lying. And the avenue of true change is down this road. And you got people like Obama. And I'm quite sure there are more people to come to get you off the road of progress and true change and put you on another road, doing more harm than good. And I know this hurts some of you people who just love Obama. But you know my motto. On the Rob Report, the truth shall set you free. Make you free. I'm about making you free. This is undisputable. This guy is doing more harm to the black community than y'all can even believe. Shame that it got to come from a black man. It's a shame that this has to come from a black man. This is one of the most diabolical move of Obama. Bad enough you look down on black people. Bad enough you act like they're your child and you scold them and talk to them like they're 2 years old, you and Michelle. Tell them if you don't vote Democrat, your protest vote, then it's not the time to do that. Hope is on the ballot. Yeah, but black agenda is not on the ballot, bruh. Closing the wealth gap is not on the ballot. Reparations is not on the ballot. Y'all keep putting the idea of systemic racism, changing that on the ballot, but when you put it on the ballot and it get voted in, you do nothing about it. And now you want the person who made it worse in the 1990s, who doubled systemic racism, gave it a shot, a adrenaline shot. Joe Biden with that crime bill. You think he... Come on, man. Come on, man. There's a lot of things I like about you, Obama, but there's more things I don't like about you than I don't like about you. The drone strike really, really tore me up. The innocent killing of Brown, the innocent killing of North African men and women and their children and their grandmothers and their grandfathers in the name of terrorism, trying to kill a terrorist, and the ratio was 90% failure. We were killing innocent people and not killing many terrorists with the drone strike program. Authorized by Barack Obama. Not to mention the torture. Not to mention the torture where he admitted, look here, we tortured some folks. We're ashamed about it, but we tortured some folks. This guy said that. And if you want to dispute me, all you have to do is Google it in YouTube and you can see every video that I'm talking about.
I thought that you guys were going to ask me how I was going to spend my birthday. What happened to the happy birthday thing? I was very clear that in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, we did some things that were wrong. We did a whole lot of things that were right, but we tortured some folks.
Punished Chelsea Manning through him, now her in jail, all because she exposed that we're going around double tapping, killing innocent people in drone strikes. Thanks to President Obama. Now we got a move that could have been very volatile, a big hit to corporate America that would send a message of true change and true pressure to put some new laws in the books that don't require voting. But because you want to use this as a move to get people to vote for your candidate.
How dare you? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.